Bit of a whirlwind down in Houston. You know, we saw Bill O'Brien go, the Deshaun Watson situation, but now we've got a new QB and, of course, a new head coach in DeMeco Ryans. So, Ryan, let's speak to you about your expectations for CJ Stroud and the new-look Texans in 2023.
Well, I think expectations are high. When you draft a quarterback that high, one that's been that successful in college, as well as add a new head coach, there is this rebirth feeling to this. And the NFL sometimes does that a lot in the offseason to rejuvenate the fan base, everything that goes into it. What we did see last year was a team that wasn't able to necessarily win a lot of games, but got better. Defensively, offensively, the skill position, things like that. And something that I think is going to benefit the young rookie quarterback is their offensive line is good. It's rare when you get a rookie quarterback to go to a team that gets drafted at the very top that the offensive line is necessarily put together and solid and consistent. So I think that's a big deal. Another big part of this, Dameon Pierce, the rookie running back last year out of Florida. He was just a monster. He was showcased on this show with Kyle Brandt over and over and over. And I think he got the saber at the end of the year for angry runs, and that's exactly what he does. That will relieve a lot of pressure from CJ Stroud when things start to get tough a little bit, when you can rely on a running back to do that work. Same thing in Indianapolis, I think, with Jonathan Taylor. When you got a running back and you can rely on that sometimes to get you some manageable third downs, I think that can go a long way.
Yeah, Ryan, I think when you talk about this Texans team, I believe expectations should be measured. I think you made a great point about what they showed at the back end of last year, but I think the big move that I loved this offseason was them hiring DeMeco Ryans. I think he's going to be an excellent coach, and his expectations are that this team will be better sooner than people think. I talked to him at the Combine, and he was like, just keep an eye on us. It may not take as long as people think, but you got to remember where the Texans came from. The last 3 years, they have had the worst combined record of any team in the league. And we have a board to kind of show where these teams have been ranked. You got the Jags, the Jets, the Bears. The Jags trending upward. The Jets have Aaron Rodgers. The Texans, 11, 38-1 over the last 3 years. They need a glimpse of hope that they'll exit this darkness. Every time we've talked about the Texans the last few years, it's been under the guise of the post-Deshaun Watson era. Everything's like post-Deshaun. Now it's the CJ Stroud era. Now it's the Will Anderson era. Now it's the DeMeco Ryans era. And so last year, 3 wins. For me, 6 wins would be a great year one step. And then you can try to push to move in this division. Right now, the Jags are the class of the division, probably the team everybody's chasing. But they're on even playing field with everyone else. The Colts have a rookie quarterback in Anthony Richardson. The Titans are in a transition right now. They have Ryan Tannehill, Will Levis. Why can't CJ Stroud jump them up ahead of the Colts, ahead of the Titans, and be right there as a top challenger for the Jags? And so that's what I'm eager to see. CJ Stroud, I want to see his connection with Tank Dell. You shouted out the Cougs, Washington State. I'm a other Cougs alum, Houston, and so I love Tank Dell. I think that he's going to be a great combo with CJ Stroud, and then DeMeco Ryans with Will Anderson on the other side. I know it may be a little lofty, but DeMeco Ryans had a Boza when he was with the 49ers there. Can Will Anderson be his own version of that, being the anchor of that defense? I think this team is going to be very eager to watch over the next 2 or 3 years to see how they grow. And Grady, I want to ask you this because, you know, we talk about rookie quarterbacks, and we're talking about one here. Do you have any rookie stories for you throughout your career facing a rookie quarterback and what that's like on the other side?
Nobody in particular, but I always know in defensive meetings we always make it a point when we are facing a rookie quarterback. I know they want to always give them different looks. We always want to get pressure on them, but you know, it's different when that live bullets flowing from when they coming out of training camp and OTAs. So you never know what to really expect. So it's exciting when you see these young quarterbacks come out because I mean they highly drafted for a reason, you know, so they're going to make some great plays, but at the same time, they're going to have some struggles too. As a defensive player, you try to capitalize on them when you can. So that's kind of, you know, how it is.
And you play the Texans this year. I know it's, you know, not time to review the tape yet, but what's your early view of CJ and maybe what you'll face when you go down there?
Yeah, man, heck of a prospect. Big, fast, got a heck of an arm. I love the way he competed against UGA over this past season, and I think they got a really good pick and somebody to really, like you said earlier, revamp the whole organization with him and a new coach together. I'm sure they're going to do some good things together.
I mean, let's look at the fact that the Texans already surprised us in the draft, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they got the energy going. They went all in on some of these guys. And when I look at the Houston Texans, because I live in Dallas and I cover the Cowboys uniquely always steal the spotlight. which I think is actually a good thing for Houston and CJ Stroud. It sort of allows DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud to sort of get their bearings down there, rebuild this organization. I think they've got the right pieces. I think, to your point, it's probably going to take them a little bit of time, but, you know, some sneaky good guys they grabbed from the Cowboys, Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz. You know, you were showing some of the tape yesterday of just Dalton Schultz and the connection that he was for Dak Prescott. For whatever reason, that wasn't really there for those two last year. You know, obviously it helped that the Cowboys had two young guys that came up in the tight end room, but Dalton Schultz was good for Dak Prescott, and I think he's going to be really good for CJ Stroud, and I think Noah Brown is as well. So my expectations are, to your going back to what you said earlier, Cam, this division is sort of wide open. And I've got a lot of faith in DeMeco Ryans, and again, I think they've got some of the pieces, but why not Houston?